Let me tell you a story about Ketsumeisei.
Okay.
About 4 years ago, it may be longer, when I went out to a seminar in Phoenix, Arizona on Ketsumeisei. And World Nutrition was putting this on. And they gave the doctors, and we had heart surgeons, medical doctors, DOs, DCs, and they gave us 2 boxes for coming to try it out. Well, one of the reps of the company had invited me and my wife to stay with her while we were there for the 2 or 3 days. And her father had an issue with heart problems. And he was scheduled, this was like in November, and he was scheduled to have open heart surgery in February, that his arteries were clogged on one side of his heart. And I convinced him to go ahead and take this Ketsumeisei.
Now, why did you think that this Ketsumeisei would help with a heart issue, with a clogged?
We're looking at a circulation issue. Period.
So one more time. What was his heart issue?
He had, I think it was like 90% blockage on one side of his heart.
Okay.
And they were going to go in, crack his chest, go in there and replace some arteries. And he went on the product. He didn't really, I don't know if he really changed his diet all that much, but he was very, very good about taking the product every day. When they went in February and cracked his chest and went in, they ended up closing him back up and sending him home and said the arteries were all clear.
Well, did they think about doing another scan before they...
Well, they just figured it was so bad when they did it that, there was nothing else could be done but the surgery. So why would they do another one?
And I guess he didn't have faith that the product would actually help to clear out the arteries. So
that, or he just didn't think about it. But I know that, like I said, they did go in there. The arteries were clear. They closed him back up. And that's been 4 years ago.
Wow. That's
so, I mean, Ketsumeisei does an awful lot of good things for people.
Not just for diabetics, then. Not just for people with diabetes, not just for people with erectile dysfunction, but we're talking about circulatory issues, even dealing with the heart. But if his arteries are clogged 90%, Dr. Tindall, what is the relationship between Ketsumeisei and breaking down that plaque?
Well, the key issue, like you said, you were talking about the liver. The liver is the filtration. It creates all the enzymes running through your system. Everything's running through there. And I don't know the scientific basis because I'm a clinical doctor. I'm not a researcher in the sense of in a lab. But all I know is that if the system is running well, it can do a turnaround. It can change things. And obviously in his case it did.
And have you ever seen that happen in any of your other patients that you've worked with on giving Ketsumeisei? Heart issues, or really any kind of...
Even myself, I had a circulation. When I was 31, I had a stroke, and I felt fine. There was no reason to have a stroke, but I had one. And my right side of my body for 20-some years was kind of sleepy. When I got tired, it would just be weaker, like it was asleep, if I got real tired. And when I got on Ketsumeisei, that sleepiness went away that I'd had for 20 or 30 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So, I mean, that's just my own personal. I mean, that's not even a patient. That's just what I've experienced myself. You were talking earlier that you don't like to carry things in your stores unless you have the faith of it. Well, I'm not any different. I mean, my wife and me are the guinea pigs. And, I have a lot of reps that say, oh, this is the greatest stuff in the world. You got to have this. And I'll take it, and I'll try it on her or me, and I find out you're like the other 85%. It's nothing but junk, and it goes in the trash. But when I find something that works, does what it's supposed to do, then I'm going to be the first one up there waving. And these 2 products are 2 examples.
So do you think that those who take Ketsumeisei should also include the VitalZyme into the mix?
Well, yeah, if you want to talk about the Vitazyme, I thought we were just going to stick with the Ketsumeisei, then go to Vitazyme your next half. You want to save that for later?
No. We can. This is a loosey goosey show, so we can go both ways.